Oh, sorry. Um, Brenda, Andy, hi. Um, no, 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 no. There's nothing wrong. I was just thinking. Oh, it just once in a while, I think about stuff. Yeah, you know, relationships, just kind of, yeah, interesting things. I mean, I can tell you, because it's fascinating. As a matter of fact, look, okay. I'm not charging you for this session, so I will share what's on my mind. Um, I, I was thinking of the word um, sincere, uh, you know, because it's such a weird thing for someone to be sincere, and English being my second language, it's like, so what does sincere mean? And so I looked it up, the where the word comes from, and I was fascinated over the fact that it came from the Greco-Roman world. They would have these potterers who would make pottery, vases and plates and bowls or whatever. And it takes skills to put it in the uh, kiln and fire them. And if you do it just right, the product will come out nice and strong, and then you can paint it and sell it or whatever. Uh, and the good potterers would do that. The excellent potterers would do that, and they would put their wares out for people to buy. But there were some potterers who were not good at it, and so when they would fire their pottery, uh, it would probably be there too long or whatever, and so they would come out. They would take out their pottery out of the kilns, and it would have cracks on them, which is not good. And so rather than throwing them away or breaking them and melting them and doing it over again, what they would do is that they would melt wax, and with the melted wax, they would cover the cracks with the melted wax, and then they would paint over it, and it looked like it had like it was perfect, no cracks at all. Um, but it was a poor quality um, piece of pottery. So the talented potterers, when they found out what was going on, they wanted to let the people know, the clients, the customers, that they were buying something of high quality, and so they would put this piece of paper, a card, I guess, or an index card, right in front of um, their wares, and they would have the word sincera, Sincera, which literally means without wax. And now sin or sin being without, and cera meaning wax. And so they would let them know that there was no wax in their pottery. They weren't hiding anything. And so when I read that, I was fascinated with the fact that we're all, so to speak, cracked pots. We're imperfect. We're all broken. We're all messed up in one way or another. Um, but when we pose, when we pretend, when we're not sincere or we're insincere, uh, we cover our imperfections with wax, or we hide it from others. And so a sincere person is one who will allow you to see their cracks, who will be open to the fact that, yeah, these are my imperfections, these are things that I'm not proud of, and these are things that I'm working on. Uh, and so I was thinking about that. for a while, and do I want to be sincere with everyone? And the answer is no. There's some people who will be open to seeing my cracks and understanding the fact that we're all crackpots, um, and will be understanding, and then we could bond uh, and empathize and sympathize with each other, especially with our cracks. Uh, but then to add to the thought, which is what has me uh, fascinated with the concept, is there's an art form from the Orient, and it's called kintsugi. It's KINTSUGI, and kintsugi takes pottery that has been cracked, and they fill the cracks not with wax, but with gold, silver, or bronze, turning this cracked pot, which really could be disposed of or broken or whatever, into a beautiful work of art. And so I thought, when it comes to therapy, when it comes to relationships, if we if we practice kintsugi with each other, then we could cover each other's imperfections with grace, forgiveness, understanding. Um, and when we do that, um, we would not only be able to be sincere one with the other, but be able to understand, be more empathetic, be more sympathetic, uh, and have a healthier relationship with each other. And so, it begs the question, should I be sincere with everyone? And of course, we have one thing we have in common is fear. And so there's some people that we really can be open with and allow them to see our cracks. And so it calls for discernment, I guess. Um, and then there are others that we need to be really careful. But when it comes to the two of you, and I don't want to take a lot of your time, um, but when it comes to the two of you, as you are open and honest with each other, when it comes to your cracks, um, and understand each other's imperfections, rather than pointing them out or disposing them or making fun of them, if you could work on through understanding, through forgiveness, through grace, if you could cover, those cracks with those things, you would end up being beautiful works of art, I guess. Uh, and maybe that's what I like to uh, for people to know about me. Yeah, he knows his imperfections and he understands his weaknesses, but you know, kintsugi, we'll just cover it, uh, and then something beautiful will come out of that. So anyway, that's what's on my mind. Um, so, homework assignment, if you want to, um, kintsugi. Be sincere one with the other, uh, as you grow in trust in your relationship, and then whatever you find, kintsugi that. Uh, thanks. Okay, I guess I'll see you next week.